So I can do the small excavator instead and see if this is a little bit easier for me to get my hands on. There's a happy little cave over here full of people that I guess they probably... What the hell? That doesn't even... Is that an alien? It looked like a dog thing. Not really too sure what I'm looking at right now.
Well, these two sure are interesting. Let's see, no suits.
They look like
That's
pumpkins.
strange. Oh, I've seen this species before, a long time ago. Maybe 1 or 2 years after I was abducted. The overlords used them as miners before they had the machines. After that, though, one of the overlords started running them against each other in teams, and it turned into a sort of gladiatorial blood sport, mining and murder. As one of my rewards, I got to watch a match. It was a brutal sight, but I can see the appeal.
You can see the appeal. That's pretty messed up. I no longer trust this kindly old gentleman whatsoever. Okay, so the plan is we have to get 3 of these things shaped like that, and then 3 of those, and then another 3 of them shaped like the other direction. And I believe that this is the one that's sending those out. Like if I... Oh, no, it's making regular cubes, and then this thing just shaves off the ends of them and turns them into angled cubes. Very interesting. Okay, cool. I can work with that. So let's delete this track, and just to see what the effect is, because I'm pretty sure I can tell what it is. They have these, like, this saw thing, and it's going to come out, and it's going to be like that. Cool. So I just need 3 of those shapes, and then I need 4 regular cubes, and yeah, should be good. Okay, so what I need, we can alternate them. So like that, and we'll set up a pusher, rotate it around. We'll have conduits, like so. Put the conveyor belt there. And then we'll get rid of that. We'll put down the sensor. Okay, this should work. So that will come out, and then it should push things out as soon as... Nope, never mind. Put the sensor there. Now it should alternate pushing them down various paths. Very nice. That pushes it out there. It comes out like that side. Okay. So we will then want to alternate with this thing, sending them left or right. Nah, there's actually an easier and dumber way to do this one than that. If we set up 2 platforms, like so, and then set up welders on top of them, like so, we can then get, like, little 3-piece welders together. Or three little units, and then we can rotate them and send them off in various directions and stuff like that. Let's see that in action. Huh. I forgot to put a platform there to actually connect it. That should work now. Okay, so that goes there. Okay, we have a unit of 3 long like that, and we'll need to process them and do various sundry things. I should probably be able to just put a cube right there, and that's even more cube efficient. Excellent. So now the other thing that I'm going to need is something that's 4 tiles long. So we'll come over here with platforms and get a nice buffer. 3, 4. We only need 3. Okay, like that. And we'll put the welders, like so. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, I deleted one of them that I needed. That's okay. And we'll just put a platform there and there to connect it so it doesn't fall off into the void. Alright, so that comes out in a group of 3 and 4. Okay, that's all connected as a big unit of 4, which is good. That's what we needed. It's that sort of beam. And we have a unit of 3 there. Okay, good. Now we can just start to assemble these things. So we'll come down here and put down... How should I do this? So I want to have it set up so that we can just kind of weld these things together. And we need to put them... We need to lay this thing on top of the other parts. So this thing needs to get rotated at some point, which I should be able to do pretty easily. I'll just put a rotator right here. And then, instead of having the conveyor belt over there, we'll have the conveyor belt right there, and it still gets down there all the same. This comes down, gets rotated the wrong direction. We'll put the conveyor belts over there instead. Okay, so this gets sent over here, rotated, falls down, and now it's a little cross beam. Alright, so the plan then is we need to drop the cross beam on top of one side and then either put the other side underneath it or get the other side ready and then put the other thing and then drop it on top of both of them at once. I think that it would make a lot more sense to put these things into place, drop this thing on top of both of them, and then weld it all three pieces together at once, then send it off to be outputted. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll come over here, and we'll send one off in this direction. Okay, something like that. So we'll just test this to see how it looks. It goes down. And I'm testing mostly to see this timing here. Alright, that looks good. That looks really good. Alright, so what we want to do is put... We can put one on... How are these coming out? They're coming out with this side. So we'll need to do a rotation and other such things with the other side. So we go down, so this will fall down and we can put it into place somewhere over there. Another thing that we can do is when we have a sensor, we'll put the platform over there. And then when there is a block on this platform, maybe we can have the pusher push away the conveyor belt. Yeah, that would work actually. And then it goes straight, and then we can push it off slightly differently. We do something like, okay, we can get rid of these blocks. Come over here. We'll put, we'll leave those blocks in place actually for right now while I figure out what exactly I want to be doing here. Come over here with the sensor. We can put it just kind of like right there or something. That's fine. It's kind of an odd spot for it, but it makes sense. And what did I want to do? I wanted to push this out of the way, but if I push it, so the pusher isn't, or it's not like a sticky pusher. It can't pull it back after it pushes it, I don't think. I would be very surprised if that were the case. I wonder, then, if the sensor... No, it only senses blocks. Okay. But I don't think the pusher can pull as well. I think it's just a pusher. So if I put this here, then we're going to be in some major trouble, I believe. Is watch... I'm just going to, for a proof of concept, get rid of these and replace it with a conveyor. Just to move it out of the way so I can see the actual changes that the thing is going to make to the tracks. And I'm also going to get rid of these conduits so that they don't block the block that'll be dropping in. So this is just currently a test of what I think this game is going to do to me. We'll find out what it's actually going to do in a second. But let's see. So this falls down. And, of course, there's a sensor right there, so I messed that up. Whoops. We'll put the sensor over here, then, and that'll be fine. So this thing that's 3 long moves through, passes through the sensor. The pusher doesn't activate. Weirdly enough, it can't push it. I guess there are weird limitations to the pushers that I don't quite understand. What if I get rid of all these things? Can it push this one block at... Well, there's a problem there, and that's obviously not going to work. What if instead I put the pusher over here, and so it's only pushing one block as opposed to a whole slew of blocks at once? Let's see what this does. So this thing that's 3 long falls down, passes in front of the sensor, and of course I have it going to the wrong sensor pusher. There we are. So now the conduit is hooked up to the pusher that will actually push something, and that can't push the conveyor belt. So there are limitations to what the pusher can push, and I think I know what they are. I think that the pusher cannot push anything which has orange when it's touching an orange side. I think it can only push blue things, because I think it can push this platform. No. What the hell? I don't know what what blocks the pusher can push then. Well, we'll not worry about that for right now. The important thing is that I just get everything set up. So what we'll do... Why is this being a pain in the ass all of a sudden? What's it not being able to rotate against? What's it complaining about? Maybe it is the wrong rotator block type. We'll try that. See if that helps anything. So I chose the one on the right direction. So this is the counterclockwise one, and that doesn't work. What if I do the clockwise one? Which, I mean, this is a terrible way to approach the problem-solving discipline, but it works. Stuck on a wall. It might be stuck on the wall. I'm not entirely sure if it is, though. Let's come over here and see what happens. Yeah, it just straight up is not rotating. Because I don't think it has enough room to rotate all of a sudden. Or something. It might be that it's colliding with this conveyor belt. Let's try that. This is also the wrong rotator block type. I need to change it to be the other one. I need to change it to be a counterclockwise rotation. Alright. Come the fuck on! What is the deal now? How about I move this over like 1 block and now all of a sudden my solution stops working? Well, isn't that great? So... the other thing I need to do is I need to change that sort of drop. It might actually just be stuck on the wall. You're right. That comes over here. And it should be... it should be rotated... okay, if this thing is getting rotated counterclockwise, it should be getting rotated... it is getting rotated into the wall like that. Yep. Okay, so that's fine. Let's stop the simulation then. Come over here. Get rid of that rotation. Do the other rotation style and see if this works. This probably won't, but who knows? Ah. The reason that it didn't work was because there was room in this cave to rotate it. Ha. Okay. Well, extend the entire thing away from the wall by 1. You got it. So we're gonna come over here, grab this diagonal, grab everything. Please let me do that? No, of course not. Okay. How about this? That looks good. Okay, let's come down here. Move the whole thing over. Just a little ways from the wall. Alright, that looks good. And we'll need to fix this with some conveyor belts like there. And like there. And we'll need to rotate them back around. That's fine. We'll have to move the pusher over, but this is just to see if things rotate correctly, which they should. In theory. Let's put the platforms down. So there's space. Or so it doesn't fall out of the sky immediately. We'll have to put the pushers back into place, stuff like that. Okay, so that comes down, that gets pushed. That's in place, that's in place. And... okay, that looks good. This should have the room to rotate now. We can drop that conveyor belt there. Put that conveyor belt there. Put that conveyor belt there. We can probably get rid of that platform. Let's see if everything falls into place now. Okay, great. So the last thing I want is... This has to be... So the platform needs to actually still be back here. This platform needs to go away. The pusher needs to still be back here. Conduit needs to still be back here. Okay, and conveyor belts. Like so. Alright, so that comes down there. And there's the solution. And we will triumphantly march this thing off to victory. So we'll have to drop it with conveyor belt. And we'll need to find some way of moving the whole thing that works. Which it probably won't. But let's find out what happens with this one. Okay. So we're currently supporting the middle piece. Alright. So the deal is that this is getting stuck. But if I move this conveyor belt over to here, get rid of that. Let's see what this does. There's a girder. That's in place. This comes out. And the problem was... I need to drop this with one more conveyor belt, I think. Let's see this in action. I don't think this will work, but I could be wrong. Yeah, because it's getting stuck there. So the easy solution is instead of this conveyor belt being right there, we put a conveyor belt there, and it'll push it along one more tile. That comes into place. And sweet, sweet victory. Now, there's a massive problem that I'm not looking forward to. And we might be able to avoid it, but it depends on the output speed of the little 4 section crossbeam, because it's a little bit faster than what is safe. Because if that comes out too fast, then we have an issue. On the other hand, it is done. So, I'm on the lower end of the spectrum, but if I play again, I can think a little bit about ways I could have improved this. On the other hand, it's done and I don't really want to think about it too much anymore. Alright. I'm gonna just marvel in my successes here and exit to the cell. Alright. So I can see the next cutscene if I felt like it. Your current score, 252 cycles, 152 footprint, 93 blocks. So you did much, much better than I did at the end of the day. Go, Mikesy. Good job. Good job.